If you think summer is the best time for backyard birding, well, you might want to think again. Today, we're going to dive into why autumn is the real peak season and how you can turn your yard into a bustling bird paradise. Let's get into it.
Wow, that quote really says it all, doesn't it? Fall isn't just a wind down from summer, it's the grand finale. It's when the action in your backyard truly hits its peak, offering this incredible spectacle you just won't see any other time of year. So just how dramatic are we talking?
23. Seriously, that is how many different bird species one person spotted in their yard in a single week last September. That is a massive leap from your typical summer numbers, and it just shows you the incredible potential that's hiding right outside your window.
Okay, so what's the secret here? What's behind this autumn explosion? Let's break down exactly what makes this season the absolute best time for birding.
And this chart, it just lays it out so clearly, right? You go from an average of, say, 10 species in the summer to more than double that in the fall. We're not talking about a little bump here. This is a full-on surge in diversity, bringing all new colors, new songs, and new behaviors right to your feeders.
So this fall frenzy is really driven by two key things happening at once. First, you've got the migrating birds. These are exhausted travelers on these epic journeys, and your yard is like a crucial 5-star pit stop for them to refuel. At the exact same time, your resident year-round birds are in their own feeding frenzy, just frantically packing on calories to survive the winter. So what happens when these two forces collide? Non-stop action at your feeders.
All right, let's meet the stars of the show. We're going to walk through the most common visitors you can expect this fall. And maybe more importantly, we'll cover exactly what to put on the menu for them.
We'll kick things off with two familiar faces whose whole vibe completely shifts in the fall. The northern cardinal, for instance, gets way more vocal and visible as it starts claiming its winter territory. And the blue jay? Oh, the blue jay transforms from a defensive spring parent into this brilliant strategic hoarder. And get this, a single blue jay can stash thousands of acorns in one season. It is fascinating to watch.
And the key here is just catering to their specific tastes. For cardinals, it is all about safflower and black oil sunflower seeds, maybe on a platform feeder or just scattered on the ground. For blue jays, the absolute magic bullet is whole peanuts in a dedicated peanut feeder. It's a really simple strategy that makes all the difference.
Now for the smaller visitors, our little acrobats. Chickadees and titmice are absolute dynamos. They're bold, they're curious, and they're incredibly busy, making hundreds and hundreds of trips from your feeder to go stash food for the winter. They're like these tiny, clever ninjas, just preparing for the cold.
And attracting them is pretty straightforward. Both of them love black oil sunflower seeds, but the titmouse also really enjoys peanuts and suet. This also kind of highlights the importance of your yard's habitat. While chickadees are pretty adaptable, if you've got mature trees and some shrubs, you're already rolling out the welcome mat for the tufted titmouse.
All right, now for a real specialist, the American goldfinch. In the fall, their bright yellow feathers fade into a more subtle olive green, but their appetite is still there. Now these birds are picky eaters, so the key is to offer Niger seed. Sometimes it's called thistle, in a specialized tube feeder with tiny little ports. If you get it right, you're not just going to attract one, you're going to attract an entire flock.
You want to attract woodpeckers? It really can be this simple. High-quality suet is basically a magnet for downy, hairy, and red-bellied woodpeckers. They'll cling right to the feeder, and a hungry group can polish off a whole block in just a few days as they're storing up that energy for winter.
And hey, don't forget the ground crew. Mourning doves are super peaceful birds, and they're perfectly happy with some scattered millet or cracked corn. And here is a critical tip. Do not take your hummingbird feeders down too early. So many late migrating hummingbirds are still moving south well into October, and they will desperately need that sugary fuel. Of course, when you have a popular restaurant, you're going to attract all kinds of customers. Invasive species like starlings and house sparrows can be aggressive bullies at the feeder. But the solution isn't frustration, it's strategy. Using feeders that have short, adjustable perches or even protective cages can make sure your desired visitors get their fill without being pushed aside.
So you know who's coming, and you know what's on the menu. Now let's put it all together. Here's a simple action plan to create the perfect fall feeding station right in your own backyard.
Okay, here's your 4-step plan. Step 1, use multiple feeders. Don't just stick to one type. Offer a tube feeder, a platform feeder, a suet feeder, all at different heights to appeal to the widest range of birds. Step 2, smart placement.
Position your feeders about 10 to 15 feet away from shrubs. This gives birds a quick escape route to cover, but it's far enough the ground predators can't launch a surprise attack. Step 3. Add fresh water. A clean water source, like a bird bath, is often even more attractive than the most expensive seed, especially for those migrants. And finally, step 4. Ensure safety. Use some simple decals on your windows to prevent collisions, and please, keep cats indoors. It's the single biggest thing you can do to protect your backyard birds.
Now this might seem like a lot, but creating a backyard that is teeming with life is so much easier than you might think. It all just begins with one simple decision to get started.
So the only question left is, are you ready to see what's waiting in your own backyard this fall? And that's the ultimate takeaway. You don't need some massive, complex setup. Just start simple. One feeder, some good quality seed, and a clean source of fresh water. Then, be patient and just watch. You will be amazed at the vibrant, dynamic world that was just waiting for an invitation.